Good evening. Welcome to California Today. I'm David Zhang. Here is a preview of some of today's top stories. A famous mall is leaving San Francisco. It's now among the many businesses that have left the city. Parental groups are asking lawmakers to end 3 controversial bills on child gender affirmation. But the bill's authors say they're protecting LGBT youth. On the local level, an Armenian parent clashed with a teacher on LGBT issues. The teacher allegedly used the Armenian genocide to defend LGBT groups. Another business crumbles in San Francisco. An iconic shopping mall is planning to leave the progressive city after multiple stores announced the closures due to low foot traffic and high crime rates.
Westfield announced on June 12th that it will not keep operating the mall located in downtown San Francisco. This comes after Nordstrom said it would close in May. The San Francisco Chronicle reported Westfield Corporation stopped making payments on a $558 million loan. Its partner, Brookfield Properties, has started the process of transferring ownership to a receiver. In an announcement, the company said, since 2019, foot traffic has decreased to 5.6 million visits from 9.7 million, a 43% drop at a time when our U.S. flagship portfolio has seen a 98% recovery. According to Westfield, gross sales plunged from $455 million in 2019 to $298 million in 2022, while Westfield Valley Fair Mall in San Jose saw a 66% increase. Bloomingdale's, reportedly tied to a long-term lease which doesn't expire until 2046, announced in May it will close the location within Westfield San Francisco at the end of August. Bloomingdale's exit leaves about 300,000 square feet of empty space across 5 floors in Westfield Mall. Other stores inside the mall have made announcements to close soon. Westfield has a roughly 45% vacancy rate. The mall has been around for over 20 years. After the COVID-19 pandemic, work-at-home trends, safety concerns, and declined tourism have hit downtown San Francisco hard. Despite law enforcement patrolling the mall regularly over the past year, emergency dispatchers still received calls concerning hundreds of potential crimes, including 118 petty theft incidents, 64 fights, 41 grand thefts, and 24 burglaries. Nearby stores have also announced closures, including Old Navy's flagship store on Market Street, as well as Nordstrom Rack.
Parental rights groups are not very happy with the state legislature. Lawmakers are moving forward 3 controversial bills on gender affirmation among children, calling it a commitment to protecting LGBTQ youth. But a number of parents say the proposed bills are eroding parental rights. Let's take a look.
3 state bills on children's gender affirmation are now making their way through the Senate after passing the Assembly floor. Parents and lawyers criticized the bills ahead of a scheduled Senate committee hearing on Tuesday.
We're talking about 3-year-olds, toddlers, young kids who like to play make-believe. This bill requires a parent to assume a child is never confused about their gender identity.
The bill in question is Assembly Bill 957. Under this bill, parents who do not affirm their child's gender identity could lose custody of the child, as determined by the courts in divorce cases. The other 2 bills are AB 665, which would require medical professionals to ask minors for consent before involving parents in mental health treatments, and AB 223, which would require courts to keep confidential all name and gender changes filed by anyone under 18 years old.
They want to transition our kids. Each child is worth $1 to $1.5 million to the medical complex. And they are lifelong medical patients. They never get off the medical train.
Friday says parents have legal and ethical obligations to care for their children's health and well-being.
It's always interesting to me that the authors of this bill, all of these bills, Scott Wiener always has a hand in it. Scott Wiener is a senator with no children.
However, the authors of these bills say the goal is to protect LGBTQ youth.
The Senate Judiciary Committee was scheduled to hear Assembly Bills 957 and 223 today. As of airtime, AB 957 passed 821 along party lines, but the committee did not get to AB 223. Meanwhile, AB 665 is still waiting for a hearing date. Staying on this topic, an Armenian parent is fired up over a teacher's comments made in Glendale, California. The teacher allegedly used the Armenian genocide to make her case for defense of LGBT persons and other minorities in the country. NTD's Daniel Monahan has more on the conflict.
The incident happened during a contentious school board meeting last week. The Glendale Unified School Board was debating a resolution to make June LGBT Pride Month. Parents expressed concern and came to have their voices heard. They wanted the right to keep their kids away from the LGBT-focused curriculum. The teacher in question said she works with a lot of what she called queer and trans youth at an LA Children's Hospital as a volunteer.
And so I deal with a lot of their trauma related to the heteronormative, Judeo-Christian, patriarchal, imperialist, capitalist system that oppresses them.
The teacher then scolded Armenians and drew parallels between the Armenian genocide and the risk of LGBT youth suicide.
How dare you, as marginalized people, come here and you don't want to talk about the oppressed trans youth who...
The teacher added that 95% of kids will know they're trans when they are 3, 4, or 5 years old. A parent named Joseph wasn't pleased by the teacher's comparison. He said, a genocide of 1.5 million at least Armenians by the Turkish Ottoman Turks, it's complete gaslighting on the other side. Joseph was with a group of Armenians and hundreds of protesters who clashed with counter-protesters wielding pride flags. Another teacher also spoke at the meeting.
I'm here in support of the LGBTQIA+ community.
She supports Pride Month but wants the school to do more. She called for implementing comprehensive LGBT education for students.
The district should establish supportive programs and resources for students, staff, and families regarding the LGBTQ+IA+ issues.
According to Joseph, what he calls sexualization has no business in schools. He says the schools are pushing these LGBT topics on kids who are as young as 5. Joseph vows that he and like-minded parents will fight to remove such topics from schools. Daniel Monahan, NTD News.
Smugglers are utilizing innovative methods to conceal narcotics. With the help of a detector dog, U.S. Customs and Border Protection found 1 ton of methamphetamine worth $4 million in a tractor trailer across the border.
According to a report by the CBP, a 51-year-old man driving a trailer tractor containing Brussels sprouts was taken into custody after attempting to smuggle 1 ton of methamphetamine across the border. At a checkpoint, the CBP requested a narcotics canine to screen the cargo. The dog helped uncover 148 packets concealed within the floor and roof of the trailer. The Calexico Area Port Director said, quote, by combining officer intuition and utilizing advanced technology, officers were able to make a notable discovery within a shipment of produce. Excellent work by our CBP officers. The amount of meth uncovered is worth approximately $4 million.
We'll take a short break now, but here's a look at what we have for you when we come back. We all depend on mail carriers to bring us our letters every day, but the job can be dangerous at times. So we'll bring you some advice from the post office on how to help protect their employees. With 50 states and hundreds of thousands of cities to live in, one city stands out among them all. Sitting along the Northern California Bay, this city has been crowned the best in the U.S. for raising a family. After years of drought, California's rivers are roaring back following heavy snowpack. NTD tested the waters in the Sierra Nevada. Those stories and more coming up on California Today. Welcome back to California Today. I'm your host, David Zhang. We all depend on the mail being delivered on time, and we demand a lot from our mail carriers. But the post office also needs us to do our part to help keep their employees safe. NTD's Christina Corona has more from Los Angeles.
There's an old saying, Postal Service won't be stopped due to snow, rain, heat, nor the gloom of night. But there's a more daunting hazard for mail carriers than just horrible weather. Deborah Davis, a Postal Service employee and safety ambassador for the city of Los Angeles, explains how important it is to keep our family dogs a safe distance away from their postal workers.
We launch across our district dog awareness. We have every day where we talk to our employees about how to protect themselves, how to communicate with the customers about the importance of keeping their dogs restrained during delivery time. But more importantly, we want to alert our customers and let them know that they can help us. We can collaborate to ensure that our customers and our carriers are working together to make sure that our carriers get home safely.
Dog bites happen all over the country, but apparently they happen more frequently here in Los Angeles.
We are number 2 in the nation with dog bites, having 48 incidents this past year. We're trying to communicate to everyone how important it is for our employees to come home the way that they went to work without a dog bite. So I would really appreciate if all the customers are alert, they alert their families how dangerous it is when our carriers are bitten by dogs.
Postal carrier Teresa Trotter shares with us a terrifying experience she suffered through on what would have otherwise been an average workday.
I have a dog came out the gate. Actually, it opened up the gate with his nose. It wasn't locked. So the owner didn't all the way close the gate. So when the dog came out, it came out by surprise, and it attacked me. I put my satchel in front of me. It overpowered me, and when I got my spray to spray it, it still did not let my leg go. So I had to have another customer run over there and scare the dog away to get off of me. A lot of adults, the first thing they want to say is, "Oh, my dog don't bite." Yes, they do. They have teeth. They might not bite you because you're the owner, but they most definitely will bite me.
And a final thought on how we can protect the safety and welfare of our mail carriers.
I would really appreciate if all the customers are alert, they alert their families how dangerous it is when our carriers are bitten by dogs.
We all love our pets and they're a part of our family. But as dog owners, let's all share in the responsibility of keeping mail carriers and the entire community safe from unnecessary dog attacks. Christina Corona, NTD News, Los Angeles.
The average American can expect to move an estimated 11.7 times in a lifetime. Wallet Hub's new finding about the best places to raise a family will give movers a sense of options. NTD's Sean Morgan has the story.
According to a recent report by Wallet Hub, the Bay Area city of Fremont, California, has been crowned the #1 city in the United States for raising a family. The study evaluated 182 U.S. cities, including the 150 most populated ones, as well as at least 2 of the most populated cities in each state. Fremont has just been named the best city to raise a family in for the 2nd year in a row. We're here in Fremont's Lake Elizabeth to ask Fremont residents what it's like to live in Fremont.
You know, our kids keep coming back here because they feel the family environment here. They feel like, you know, this city has given so much to them that it keeps bringing them back here.
The study's 5 dimensions encompassed family fun, health and safety, education and childcare, affordability, and socioeconomics, allowing for a comprehensive assessment of each city's family-friendly attributes.
We really like it. We really like the neighborhood. Everything's close by, and especially for babies, we come to Lake Elizabeth a lot. This is like our go-to, and we really like it here.
Notably, Fremont achieved remarkable rankings in 2 key dimensions. It clinched the top spot in socioeconomics, indicating a robust economic climate and opportunities for families to flourish. Furthermore, the city secured first place in the education and child care category.
I think we live very close to the Weibel Elementary School. It's rated very high. And the Mission High School is also rated very high, one of the highest in California. Many students go to Berkeley and other top universities, so I think we have no regrets. I think they've done a good job.
In terms of health and safety, Fremont performed admirably and secured the second position among all the cities analyzed.
Overall, compared to other cities over here, this is a pretty safe neighborhood. Like she said, we have been living here for almost 4 years now, and we haven't had any such incident or anything. It's pretty safe out here.
While Fremont, Overland Park, and Irvine ranked as the top 3 places to raise a family, Detroit, Memphis, and Cleveland came in as the bottom 3 in overall ranking. Fremont is also ranked as the happiest city in the U.S. for the 3rd year in a row. In Fremont, California, Sean Morgan, NTD News.
In March this year, the Department of Water Resources announced a 75% increase in forecasted state water project deliveries, up from 35% announced in February. With more flow, NTD's David Lamb decided to test the waters at the South Fork American River.
According to the Bureau of Land Management, the South Fork American River is one of the most popular and most populated whitewater river runs for rafting and kayaking in California. It runs about 21 miles, located in El Dorado County.
I'm here in Lotus, California, and as you can see, a lot of people are lining up to go whitewater rafting, especially after this year's Snowpack.
This past April was the 4th time in California history that the state recorded above 200% of its April snow measurements. This is due to the record level snow that accumulated this year. After years of drought, it's all the better for rafting guides like Davis Montenegro from Costa Rica, who travel to California to help people navigate whitewater rapids each year when the demand increases.
We got a lot of water this year. But so a good thing up here, we have a lot of guys from different countries, so not just from the area, and they are really good guides.
Montenegro says the rafting season spans from April to September at this location.
July is going to be the busiest for us here, and I think for the whole companies in this river.
Rapids are classified on a scale from 1 to 6 based on difficulty and danger. Rapids form when running water moves swiftly over a shallow area with obstacles or walls.
So the classification, for example, in this river, so we go from class 1 to class 4. That's what we had here in this river. So everything goes by water level depends too, or the classification of a rapid. So for example, class 1 is like minor rocks and just moving water, and then class 4 means like more gradient, could be like a water pouring and stuff like that. And big boulders, creating more big waves. So that's how we classify the rapids.
While class 1 to 3 rapids can be family friendly, conditions can still get rough with people falling off their rafts. One raft ended up capsizing during this excursion. Luckily, everyone made it back on the raft, minus one slipper.
So one thing that you have to pay attention if you come to visit the river is make sure your company had a good guys, and then good water level, like not too high, but in a perfect water level to do this activity.
The South Fork American also has a special significance because the river flushed gold downstream during the Great California Gold Rush of 1849.
Again, with the snowmelt, a lot of people may not be expecting fast speeds or like deep waters, but the important thing is to follow the safety regulations, listen to the instructor, and most of all, have fun. In Lotus, California, David Lamb, NTD News.
Now let's check in with NTD's Tyler Castillo for our sports roundup. There's some big news for our Bay Area team.
Let's dive into the sports roundup for today. I'm Tyler Castillo.
San Jose Sharks legend Patrick Marleau will be inducted into the San Jose Sports Hall of Fame in November, as announced by the San Jose Sports Authority and the Sharks. Patrick Marleau spent 21 years with the Sharks out of his 23-year NHL career, where he also broke the all-time NHL record for most games played. He is also the first San Jose Sharks player to get his number permanently retired, where the number 12 is held up in the rafters and no other player can use that number for the Sharks. The San Jose Sports Hall of Fame is awarded to players who have made extraordinary contributions to the sports world. Once inducted, Marleau will have his bronze plaque permanently installed inside SAP Center in San Jose. The San Jose Sharks have also announced that they have signed the 2022 first-round pick Filip Bystedt to a 3-year entry-level contract. The Sharks drafted Bystedt last year after they traded away their 11th overall first-round pick to the Arizona Coyotes in exchange for the 27th overall pick in the first round and 2 second-round picks. Bystedt was selected 27th overall, where initial reactions were that the San Jose Sharks took a reach to select Bystedt, as in most scouting reports, he was not even projected to be selected in the first round. Bystedt surprised everybody with his growing stock when he recorded 20 points in 45 games in the 2023 SHL League and was announced as the 2022-2023 SHL Rookie of the Year. Shea Langoliers highlighted a 4-run 5th inning with a 3-run double as Oakland stunned visiting Tampa Bay in the opener of a 4-game series for its 6th straight win. The A's did all their scoring in the 5th. With the bases loaded and 1 out, Langoliers lashed a 2-strike double to left center field, planting all 3 runners for a 3-0 lead against Zach Eflin. Langoliers then scored on Ryan Noda's 2-out RBI single. The A's are now undefeated since the end of the Nevada legislative window last week. A's 4, Rays 3. Shohei Ohtani hit 2 home runs, including a go-ahead shot in the 12th inning, as Los Angeles rallied for a victory in Arlington, Texas. The Rangers, who led 5-1 early in the game, got 1 run in the bottom of the 12th, but fell short. Angels reliever Sam Backman earned his first Major League victory with 2 scoreless innings, Angels 9, Rangers 6. Mitch Haniger drove in 2 runs as visiting San Francisco beat St. Louis for its 5th win in 7 games. Brandon Crawford hit a tie-breaking RBI single in the 8th inning for the Giants. San Francisco starter Logan Webb allowed 3 runs on 7 hits in 7 innings. Camilo Doval got the final 4 outs for his 17th save. Giants 4, Cardinals 3.
And that is all for the Sports Roundup for today. I'm Tyler Castillo.
Thanks, Tyler, and that's all we've got for you tonight. We would like you to join us again on California Today every weekday at 8 p.m. Make sure to check out our broadcasts at ntd.com/California-today. You can also find all of our top latest clips there, ready to share with the friends and family. Send us a message on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Ganji World, or through our email, california.today@ntd.com. I'm David Zhang. Have a wonderful evening.